Okay, with all that information that's out there, there are tons of different places you can get information. And each industry or each situation has its own different sources of information on the internet, hard publications, people that have worked within the industries and have jumped from ship to ship or wherever. There's all sorts of places to get information. But what I'm focusing on is getting it from the horse's mouth. How to question the other side effectively to extract information. And believe it or not, there is a skill to how you devise your questions. And it goes along what we call the questioning funnel. Now, I have slightly modified the classic questioning funnel to layer on top baselining questions, which we discussed in hard bargaining, which is where I baseline how a person says no, so I can watch for its change later on. So that's the first layer, is I'm going to go in with my baseline questions. Then I'm going to use the classic questioning funnel, and that is I'm trying to get inside of their head, which means I don't want to steer them. I want to give them questions that allow them to speak, that allow them to provide information. So I start off with a big open-ended question. Get them talking. Don't make it multiple choice. Don't give them answers for them. You want to hear what they're thinking about. So an open-ended question, many people know what it is, but if you need a format to write an open question, here's two basic formats. Tell me your thoughts on X, and then fill in the blank. Payment terms, contract length, pricing, volume. Okay, tell me your thoughts on it. Now, another big open-ended question, very similar, but very different response depending on who you're talking to. Tell me your feelings on X, payment terms, contract, etc., etc. Okay? Tell me your thoughts on, or tell me your feelings on. So you start with an open-ended question, then you let them talk. Now, you can plan all your open-ended questions before you get into that first information gathering session. You cannot plan your next phase of the funnel, which is your probing questions. Because your probing questions, here's how they take shape. I give you my open-ended question, hey, tell me your thoughts on payment terms. Now, whatever you say to me, in response to that question, I'm going to take that response and turn it back around into my next question. And it's going to be, hey, tell me a little bit more about that. Let me dig a little bit deeper. I'm probing that tidbit for more information. So it may sound like this. Hey, tell me your thoughts on payment terms. And they respond as, well, it's not my most important thing, but it's definitely up there because, you know, cash is important to this deal. And then so I probe and I go, well, how important? If it's not the most important one, is what's more important than it? Well, and then they were responding, well, price is more important. Okay, so now I'm gonna, is it third, fourth? See, I'm probing a little bit farther, okay? And then my closing ending questions is where I sort of play back my understanding of what I've heard. So if I'm hearing you correctly, your relative importance that payment terms is about third or fourth on your list. Is that so? Okay, all right, good, okay. And you'd like to extend those terms out. All right, I got you. Yes, all right, perfect. Okay, so start with my baseline question. That's at the early phases. Then I move open questions into probing questions and into my close-end yes-no questions at the end. That's the classic questioning funnel with the layer added on top.